everyone, this is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts. Sorry, I've been a bit MIA here, guys. I have had the worst time with being sick. I had the flu back to back. Thought it was pneumonia at one point and then ended up getting checked out. Turned out to just be a really severe case of bronchitis. So you might still hear it in my voice a bit, but I do feel a lot better. So I really wanted to get back into doing readings for you guys. So this isn't technically for the first half of April. This is what I would consider to be a timeless reading. Take from it what makes sense for you personally. I'm not really concentrating on any particular time frame whenever you happen to run across it, all right? But these are the two decks that I'll be using. They are both my decks. This one is the Silhouettes deck. This one is my new one, Scenarios, the Veil of Deceit and Desire. So this particular one has upright and reversed interpretations if you haven't seen me use it yet. So very similar to tarot. And of course, I'll clarify everything with tarot decks. So let's begin, guys, and let's go ahead and take a look and see what the messages are for you. All right, Gemini, so let's go ahead and get into some messages here for you. Whoever it is that you are focused on. Let's go ahead and grab some opening messages here. All right, here we go. What do you need to know for Gemini, please? We are starting off with point of view. You've turned my world upside down. So you either made a huge impact on someone's life or they did on yours. And it reminds me too of sometimes distancing ourselves from a situation, taking a step back in order to see things from a different angle. It kind of reminds me very much of the Hangman type vibe, okay? So let's see. So whatever the impact, it was powerful. For Gemini, I licked it, so it's mine. Okay, so somebody is coming through with this very territorial energy. This might not necessarily be somebody that you're with. More than likely somebody that you are separated from. But they still desire you. They still want you. That's what I'm feeling here. So if, let's just say you're in another relationship, Gemini, or the other person is in another relationship, I'm feeling this tinge of jealousy. You know, it's like, wait, that's mine. What's going on? This connection is mine. This person is somebody that I have longed to be with for a long time. But when you're feeling jealous or territorial, somebody might have stepped into that situation. What else, please, for Gemini? We've got portal. Your love is the doorway to my heart. Okay. That could be how you see this person and the emotional ties perhaps that you feel towards them, you know, where there's something about the experience, the love that you shared with this individual that still perhaps affects you to this day. So let's clarify that with some tarot here. I'll be pulling from my tarot teacher, the revised edition. So the question here, Gemini, is, are you the one that is still thinking about someone from your past? Do you find yourself feeling jealous or territorial that they've maybe moved on to somebody else? Do you still have love for this person? All right, what do we need to know? We've got the Fool. Some of you guys could be dealing with Aquarius here. We have a situation that is at a stalemate, but somebody clearly wants perhaps a fresh start, knowing that maybe it's up to them. Or if this is something that resonates with you personally, maybe you feel like you're getting frustrated because this situation seems to be stuck, or you feel like you're not in a position to do anything about it. But that still could be what it is that you're yearning for. You want to be able to have this new beginning with this person, but you could also be feeling powerless to do anything about it. That's just what I'm getting. We do have the Ten of Swords. So when you and this person parted ways, Gemini, maybe you didn't even expect it to hurt as much as it did, but it did. It was very painful for both of you on both sides. We do have the Ace of Cups. So if you, again, are picking up off of this vibe, you still love this person, I feel. And the Ace of Cups certainly can be picking up off of those intimate moments that you have shared with this person. You still feel very connected to them. But if, for example, they're unavailable or they're not able to be with you right now, if they've already moved on to somebody else, and this is just for somebody, some of you guys, maybe this person was already married or taken at the time that you guys connected and they're not available. So that's why we're at an impasse, because it's unable to move forward unless this person is available and free to be with you. But that doesn't make it any easier thinking about them and missing them, wanting to be with them, still desiring them, wanting to have a new beginning. I kind of feel for some of my Geminis that this could even be a fantasy of yours to kind of relive the days, those times that you were with this person, but it ended very painfully. What else, please, for Gemini? I feel during this time, though, that you would benefit from really focusing on yourself and your own healing and just living the life that you were meant to live. Perhaps if you're single right now, just focus on loving you. Focus on being kind to yourself, you know? Eight of Pentacles. Some of you guys also might be focusing on your work environment. That could be going quite well. You know, this could represent a new job for some of you guys. That could be what you're throwing your heart and soul into right now rather than your love life. But I'm also feeling that at this point, you also know what it is that you want when it comes to your love life, and you're not going to settle for anything less than what you deserve, which is good. I feel if you have taken the time to grow and to learn and to really focus on filling your own cup here with that Ace of Cups, then part of your journey here, Gemini, is to be rewarded for your efforts, not only in your work environment, but your love life too. We do have the Six of Cups, so I am feeling that there's somebody here that you're thinking about, you're missing them, you are focused on the memories that you guys have shared at one point in time, and there's a part of you perhaps that's fantasizing about what it would be like to come back together with this person, to have a reunion with them. For some of you guys, maybe there's a part of you too that's just trying to be realistic, that if you were to see each other again, that it would just be nice to reconnect, not necessarily as lovers, but to just reconnect, maybe to start off as friends and to take things slowly, perhaps. But for some of you, I do feel that you still have some real legitimate feelings for this person. You still love them, and there's a part of you that desires that reconciliation, but maybe it's not possible, especially if they're already in another situation, another relationship. And this was definitely part of the issue with the Seven of Swords, because it can represent risky behavior that could have resulted in a third-party situation, some sort of deceptive energy, betrayal. So that wasn't easy. That was very difficult. And that also explains perhaps why we have the Two of Swords showing up. Yeah. Let's grab one more card here, and then we'll move on to the other messages. For Gemini, please. We do have the Three of Cups. Okay, so again, for some of you, it could have been a third-party scenario, but if that doesn't make sense for your situation, there's still this desire to have this reunion, because ultimately you guys are quite happy when you are together. It could also indicate a new beginning for you when it comes to this chapter in love with this person. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what else we can find out, Gemini, when it comes to your love life and whatever else you need to know right now. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull, just situate my cards here. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull from the Scenarios deck. upright and reversed scenarios, so we'll see. We'll see if it picks up off of what already came through or if something else needs to present itself here. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Gemini. What else do we need to know? What else do we need to know, please? All right, so we have a reverse card. So in the upright, this says daffodil, which can represent the tears, depression, and unhappiness, but it is in the reverse. So I like that because it's telling you that perhaps your heart space is finally healing. This is feeling uplifted and finding happiness. So that's good. You know, after having experienced something very difficult, certainly with the 10 of Swords, the 7 of Swords, and also knowing that we've got a situation here that's just stuck. It's stagnant. It's not going anywhere. So might as well focus on your healing, okay, at this point. Let's see what else. For Gemini, what else do we need to know, please? All right, so we have an upright card. This says vagabond, temporary lover, no roots or home base, constantly moving on, no desire to commit. That could have been part of the problem and ultimately why things ended up the way they did, you know? Because if somebody's not willing to stick around, that creates an imbalance in the partnership. And, you know, whatever side of the fence you are on when it comes to that type of energy, that's what you have to ask yourself. You know, why did you perhaps not want to settle down with this person? Or maybe you're questioning why they needed to move on and why they just couldn't offer you perhaps what it was that you needed. So whoever represents that vagabond needs to realize that they contributed to the issues as to why the relationship just could not work out. Somebody couldn't stick around at the end of the day. Let's grab one more. But I am happy to see that whatever happened here, it is healing. Things are getting better. Okay. Give me one more card, please. Angels and spirit guides for Gemini. Okay, another reverse card, which is the Libra lover card. So take that, of course, if it makes sense. You could be thinking of a Libra. You could also have Libra in your chart. So it is in the reverse. We do have vain, insecure, indecisive, impulsive, and superficial. So that might also have something to do with this vagabond energy where they just wanted to be surface level with you perhaps, and they weren't really wanting to dig too deep into the connection because ultimately they knew that they weren't going to stick around anyway. You could have also put your foot down, you know, and have come to the realization like, you know what, I need someone who's going to be, you know, in my life consistently rather than in and out of my life, or just not going to stick around, a temporary lover, as it says. So you could have put a stop to it, which is why we have the 2 of Swords and ultimately why it hurt so badly to separate. But at the end of the day, if they just weren't giving you what it was that you needed from them, then you probably maybe severed ties. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and grab from my TANIELU tarot deck. And definitely stick around to the end of this reading because we're going to give you guys the opportunity to ask your own questions. Make it more of an interactive part of the reading so you can get clarity on particular issues. Okay, so we'll get to that shortly. Look at that, guys. Okay, so again, the 2 of Swords is showing up. We have a stalemate situation, and that probably has a lot to do with this person who just wasn't ready for any sort of commitment. They weren't ready to offer it. We do have the Ace of Swords. So again, whichever side of the fence you're on when it comes to this particular storyline, Gemini, there is somebody here who decided to cut the other person out, you know, finally realizing that it just wasn't going to work. Somebody found empowerment through that choice. We've got the Judgment, okay, and then we've got the Magician. So the Magician represents Gemini and Virgo. You could be dealing with a Virgo. We do see Libra already. So this could be a part of your journey, Gemini, where you went through this awakening. You realized that the past had some issues and ultimately decided to go on your own journey. move towards a direction that did work for you. And maybe at this point, you're just ready to focus on bringing to the surface what it is that you do want in your life, whether that's love, whether that's other opportunities, you know, with friendships or even family, you know, however way that is represented for you. But when it comes to your love life, this does represent getting past whatever is stuck. This is you being able to empower yourself to manifest what it is that you do want in the 3D world. This can also represent someone from your past who comes back, perhaps wanting to get things unstuck, wanting to maybe offer an apology for something that they did in the past. So let's see what else here. If you are single right now, I do feel that you are on the right path. Maybe you did put a stop to something that just wasn't working for you, and now you're just ready to manifest your ideal love, and you can do that. Okay, let's grab some more. So we do have the 10 of Wands, but I do feel that this was wanting to come up in the reverse. So that's how I'm going to read that. In the upright, of course, it can represent that heavy burden that perhaps you have been carrying for a while, you know? And I'm just feeling here for some of you that maybe this whole situation has just been stressing you out to the point where you just feel burnt out, you know, just needing time to yourself perhaps. And I feel that this has a lot to do with your healing, this daffodil card, finally feeling uplifted to not carry that burden anymore. Okay, so in a way, that's a good thing. Here's our 6 of Cups. So there clearly is this attachment to the past. Someone from your past is either heavily thinking about you, or you still think about them to this day. But clearly there were imbalances, and there was this situation where somebody just could not step up to the plate. You know, they just could not show up for either you the way you needed them to, or the other way around. And here you are. Okay, so the Lover's card actually represents Gemini specifically. So this is telling us that the choice is yours, Gemini, that it is totally up to you how this plays out. You know, if somebody comes back, if somebody from your past, maybe an ex, resurfaces, it's up to you whether or not you would want to revisit the connection, especially if you've been thinking, you know, what would it be like if we were to try again? What would it be like if we were to get back together again? This can certainly indicate that you still feel drawn to them, that there's still the mutual attraction between the two of you, and it continues to be pretty intense. It could be one of those things where it just floods right back the moment you see them in person. But this to me equates to the situation being your choice. It will turn out ultimately the way you see fit. So you're in control overall over how this plays out. That's what I'm getting for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and give you guys the opportunity to ask your own questions. And it doesn't necessarily just have to be about your love life. It can be about anything. So like I've done for the other signs, I'm going to go ahead and pull 3 cards from my Definitive Answers Oracle. So go ahead and focus on your question. Could be about anything whatsoever. If it's not the answer that you are hoping for, typically, as I've mentioned this in other readings, it could be that timing is off. It could be the universe's way of telling you that there's something better or someone better for you. And in other readings I've done, it could also indicate that you need to wait, have patience. It's just not the right time to ask that question. So let's see, okay? So question number 1 for Geminis, for the collective. Go ahead and either say it out loud, concentrate on it, think about it. And here we go. Okay, first one, affirmative. And it says, that means yes. Okay, so hopefully that is an uplifting, positive response for whoever had or needed that answer. All right, so if you do have a second question, now is the time to focus on it. Think about it, say it out loud if you find that that works better for you. All right, Gemini, here we go. Second question. And second answer. Look at that. It says ask again later. Okay, so it's not giving you a yes. It's not giving you a no. Timing's just a little bit off here. Okay. All right, so go ahead and ask your third question if you have one. For Gemini, here we go. Look at that. It says wait. Ask again later. Wait. That's interesting. So we have one yes response, and the other two seem to be letting you know that it's just not the right time. But I mean, that could still be a positive because it's not telling you no, it's not going to happen. It's just that you need to wait and be patient. Okay, so I'll leave that there, guys. Hopefully there's something in these messages that resonates with you. If you are interested in your own personal private reading, that information is down below in the description box, as well as the links for the decks that you see here. That's it for now. Thank you so much, guys, and I appreciate your patience and all of the well wishes while I've been recovering from being sick, and hopefully I can stay well for the rest of the year, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Thank you.